This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Gaz, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox Newscast. Welcome. This is episode 79 of the X&C Podcast, and I'm here with my favorite person in the whole world, my co-host, Gaz from Game On Daily. How's it going, buddy?
I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
What's with the reverb, bro? What's with the reverb? What's with the reverb? You can never have too much.
You can never have too much reverb.
Bro, that's great.
Hi, everyone. Hi, chat. How are you?
Yo, welcome to the show.
You good?
Actually listened to the show yesterday while I was getting some work done, just with earbuds in, and we're crazy. It's crazy. It's good. It's good to hear us interact with the chat. And thanks to everybody who's showing up here to the show. Gaz and I are excited. Gaz, before we get started, I want to read off the names of some of the channel members and veterans of the Patreon in a second here. But well, I was gonna say, what are you playing? But skip the one you just finished because it'll spoil some of the stuff you're doing. But what else have you been playing?
I've been playing quite a few. Sorry. I've been playing quite. I've been playing quite a few things. One thing I think I'm going to get 100% this game. The surprise game of the year for me. Vampire Survive. This game is like crack. I love that game. Such a great game. I've now surpassed the Phil Spencer build. I don't need your garlic, Phil, or what did he say? It's all about Santa water, yeah? Yeah. I've been playing that, a game that I cannot mention until later, and also God of War Ragnarok, which I am now going to dip into fully to immerse myself into the story of Kratos and Atreus. Atreus is not as annoying. Atreus? Oh, fuck. Oh, sorry. Ooh.
You said fun. You said fun.
I'm so sorry. Happy Bomb.
That's exactly. I think it was Fonz on his show on Sunday said Atreus. I'm like, how long have you played the game? You're going around picking fruit with a yak. You should be able to say his name properly. I have set the game down. Well, let me tell you what I was playing.
What have you been playing, Colt?
Yeah.
Eastwood.
I put out a video on last Monday, a week ago, about Fallout, and it's picked up, and a lot of people are not happy at the end. I said, you know what? I don't like it. I don't like Fallout 76. I don't like it. You know what? You're not going to change my mind. I've tried it 3 times. I don't like it. And today I reinstalled it, and I was playing it again, even though I'm supposed to finish Evil West. I'm supposed to finish God of War Ragnarok. I'm supposed to finish Vampire Survivors. I'm way behind. It's been really fun, though. I should be able to relax, because I got an email from work saying, you need to take some time off or you're going to lose your vacation. So I'm thinking, so should be good. We'll be all right. Yeah?
Yeah,
that's kind of dank. Let me read out these channel members of Patreon veterans. And only in high quality fidelity hi-fi stereo will you get X&C Podcast with Gaz's best sound effects. Oh, it's obnoxious. Let me give a
Sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like. Well, let's just move on. Let's move on. Shout out to Brian Harris, Mark Carwell, KY Bob, Assassin Loop, Jazzy Noop, Xbox, Ricky Fallon, Stephen Smith, Maurice Baker, Zemek, Ralph Wiggum, Manic Master, Matt Burns, William Lanza, Nano, Paulie Matthew, Donnie Kazada, Robert Jackson, Lord Starkiller, Dante Moody, Betamax, Dark CMF, Gaz, Fox Storytelling, Wreak Havoc, Fault Line, Center White, Devario 2 Gaming, DeBlue 1, Poochie, Remix Gaming, V Simcoe, Assassin, Raymond G. Thub, Larry Thatcher, Hargeet Chani, TK Chillin, Mac, Bound, Raiden Blade, Acute Perspective, True 77, Risking for the Biscuit, Widya Santasso, Greg Loudon, and CJ 93. I see that. CJ, I said it wrong. But thank you, people. Thank you, all of you. Hey, let me get some business out of the way. which I just did. Let me get some more business out of the way. This is the XCloud Podcast. We're live on the Colteastwood channel. We're also on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Pocket Podcasts, and something like Umbrella Podcasts. But it's on demand, free, just like it's free here, where you can check out the show at your leisure. Fast forward, there'll be timestamps. It's great. I'm really glad. We're episode 79. Been doing this since May 2021, I think. Right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. What do you drink? What did you drink? I missed it.
I didn't fill up a drink, and I had an empty can of 7-Up, and I'm thirsty now. You have your Mountain Dew.
Nope, just water. Trying to get off the sauce wagon. Trying to get off the sauce wagon wheel with the Mountain Dew. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the podcast, right? Tonight we are going to give away a code for Evil West on Xbox Series S or X or Xbox One. We're giving away a code for the Xbox version of Evil West as soon as we hit 500 likes on the podcast. We've got 100 now, and shout out to 430 people here who are checking us out. We should get there, and it'll be fun. But we're going to talk about that game in a minute. Let me start with our first thing, which everybody wants to talk about, is Xbox number one! Xbox number one!
Where? How? I saw your clickbait, you piece of... Where is the lead? Tell me where's the lead. Where's the lead? What are you talking about?
Okay,
so about games.
Yeah, let's start with. Shoot! I should have left that. I got to get back to this screenshot I sent you. It starts off with a hardware chart thing from VG Charts, which when it comes to Xbox, you have to take it with a massive grain of salt. But according to the hardware charts, Xbox is up some 50,000 units this past week in console sales in North America, but still trounced by the PlayStation and Nintendo Switch globally. But this website reported from Adobe Analytics today, Gaz, that Xbox Series X was the number one product in Black Friday shopping over... Yeah. Did you hear this?
Awesome. Yeah, I actually posted that on our website. It dominated the sales on Black Friday. It did, which is great.
How? How?
I think it's safe to say, whilst you've got more PlayStation 5s out in the wild,
people are done buying them?
No, not that. There's still a lot more scarce. The Series X's and S's are readily available. Even now, I can check it on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I'll get an Xbox Series X next day tomorrow on Prime. Let me check.
No, you can't. Well,
no.
I'm learning.
Yes,
I'm learning.
I can.
It's different in North America or in the US. On Amazon, they're marked up or only by invitation for Series X. And this weekend, Microsoft sent an email out saying that Series X was available at the regular $499 US price without invitation. And that's the first time I've seen that in a long time. And I am in Washington State, Gaz. So I would love to hear from the chat. I'm going to look over here at the chat and ask you as well, Gaz, because I'm hearing it's wildly different, the availability of the Xbox Series X, depending on where you live in the country, let alone on the planet. But here in Washington State, I don't go to stores often enough, but anytime that I'm there, I always swing by electronics. I've done that forever. Never. In 2 years, I've never seen a Series X in that little glass case. Never. That's me.
Interesting.
But I hear it's different in UK or Europe.
Yeah. In the UK, I can buy one now and get it today, which is
on Amazon Prime.
Well, I'm in the future. I'm Tuesday today.
Sure.
But on Prime, I can get it today. I can get the Series S today. I typed in the PlayStation 5 on Amazon, and it's telling me to buy the Xbox Series S, which I can get today, but I can't buy a PS5.
I mean, that's how marketing works, right?
Well, there's no PS5s available on Amazon because they're all sold out. So Black Friday, also, this is America. America's very different. And this figure here is pretty stark, whether or not you want to attribute this to the continued stock shortage. It's still massive, and it's going to do some harm. The Xbox is up by 70,000. The PS5 sold in the US and Canada 195,402 units. That's pretty specific. Series X sold 265,485. But based on these hardware charts, I don't know where they come from. That's quite high. In Japan, the Series X has dwindled. I mean, 1.5K was really high in the Xbox One gen, I guess. Maybe if you want to spin it that way. But,
RDM in the chat. RDM says maybe Series X is banned in Washington State. We only play PC Master Race here. So he's a fellow Washingtonian. Yeah, I mean, you should only be on the PC. You come from Microsoft land here in Washington, so you better be playing an Xbox or a PC, or else Bill Gates will come to your house and pour clean poop water on your floor. I think it's funny when people use Bill Gates as an icon for Microsoft's buyout and Xbox. Like, Bill Gates hasn't worked on that company for like 8 years.
Yeah, I know why people.
He hasn't even been related. Shout out to Review Tech USA, who constantly uses Bill Gates' picture. I'm like Rich. He doesn't work there anymore, but he loves using his face for memes. So I did a poll. I asked. Oh my gosh, I have a typo, but you get it. Have you seen Xbox Series X in store on shelf often? I mean, my answer would be never. I've never seen it on a store shelf, and but it sounds like there's people all over the place that are on the show, right, Gaz? Do you ever see them in the store? Do you ever go over by the electronics area of a store?
Over here in the UK, it's slightly different. Oh, God, Stain. You tend to not really see consoles in like stores. You've got your Tesco's, which is your Walmart. Yeah, the stores that would typically sell them are your Argos, which is like you look at a catalog and then buy it, ask for it behind the shelf. Number 69, please. Or John Lewis or something. And
they're like, behind the beaded curtain, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Or game stores, which are very few and far between now. So a lot of people opt to buy their hardware digitally. So I can't really comment on the availability based on my optics and my shopping escapades. Besides, I don't really go to these kind of stores anymore. I buy games digitally, so I don't. In the UK, you've seen a tremendous shift in buying habits. I think in the US, you still frequent stores for consoles, but forgive me if I'm wrong. But chaps in the UK, I'm pretty sure you're buying your things online. I don't. Your massive Xbox lead over PS5 title, I just don't agree with it. I think, okay, fine, Black Friday. I agree.
Well, there's more to my title than just hardware sales. In fact, the entire metric of PlayStation and Xbox has very little to do with console sales, which we'll get into later.
How are you spinning this? How are you spinning it? You spinning piece of...
Yeah. We're gonna spin it about this whole thing about how PlayStation is absolutely mortified but the prospect of losing tons of money because Xbox holds the golden goose. We're going to get into that in a minute. Let me read this real quick. It says, Xbox Series X dominates Black Friday sales this year. According to xputer.com, the Series X has won Black Friday sale, being the most sold product during this time. And then the source says, this is funny, major takeaways. Series X top Black Friday sales chart this year with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I mean, future exclusive. Just kidding. Nintendo Switch held the number one spot in sales during the Thanksgiving period alongside God of War Ragnarok, but the next week after this, which is the Black Friday sales, PlayStation or Series S did not even make the top 5 during Black Friday. And
that's quite interesting.
The
Series X
supply has been up for PlayStation because they've been taking a lead on the Xbox because they've had way more supply than they used to. So go ahead, guys.
Just in time with the price hike. How did that happen? Yeah. So coincidence. Let's call it that.
Hold. Now.
And then, yeah, as soon as the price hike, move. I forgot what I was going to say. I knew what I was going to say. No, I forgot what I was going to say. Are we going to talk about
Let's
Colin
talk.
Moriarty said.
Yes, we are. Yeah, I mean, you can only have so much fun with sales. I certainly don't. But the PlayStation fanboys, they love to they have that big, huge banner. They wave back and forth. Sales, we got another sale. Colin Moriarty blew your face off today with his take, and I want you to set it up. Remember that people here might not have listened to the old things he said on your old podcast episode, and set it all up. I mean, this is good. This is set the table for everybody.
Spicy. I shouldn't be surprised, should I? Colin Moriarty has been a vocal disbeliever of Xbox Game Pass, purely on the point of viability. He has said it's not sustainable. He has been at the forefront of that argument, and multiple times, including our show, he came on and he made a statement, or he justified his statement, and he said it's not sustainable. And one of the final things he said, which I used in the source video, and he said this, he goes, look, Microsoft are a public traded company. If Game Pass was profitable, they would say so.
When was this? How long ago was this?
This is like last year.
Okay.
And today, we find out in his Lost Stand Media podcast, he comes out, he goes, I don't believe Phil Spencer. And I'm surprised at that. I made a source video where I was mocking him when it was announced Xbox Game Pass is sustainable. And I pushed this on Twitter. You'll see my tweet where I've literally said his clip, used Colin Moriarty's words, slowed it down, and then Phil Spencer says it's profitable. And then he goes, I don't believe you. And then he shifts the goalpost completely, which is what I say in my source video. Please don't be like Jay Barry and say Phil Spencer, you don't believe Phil Spencer. And two, please don't move the goalposts. He did both those things immediately in pretty much one line. So he said he doesn't believe Phil Spencer, and he changed the goalpost in the manner in which he assesses the viability of it. And he goes off on this. This is his issue. He goes, well, forget third parties. If you take third parties and think of the cost of buying them and versus the cost of sub count and the money coming in from subs, fine, then it's profitable. But when you look at the first party games that you're developing and how much Microsoft loses as a result of having those available on subscription services, I don't believe you, he says. But suddenly, Colin Moriarty is living in the twilight zone where
Microsoft is spending over $3 billion a year on first-party development.
Or not even that. Microsoft has somehow refused to sell games other than on Game Pass. What are you talking about? It's like 15% of the revenue. You saw the figures. What about Forza? Forza Horizon 5, how many sales did it enjoy? Like, anytime. Like, he's so obstructive to the notion that Microsoft may be successful here. And these are gaming opinions at the end of the day, so there's no need for me to attack him. And though I do it in such an emotive way, I can see why it's perceived as an attack. It's all banter, man. If he was here in front of me right now, we'd have a good chat. I'll be like, Colin, what the flip are you talking about, bro? Mm-hmm. You came on last year. You talked about all this nonsense, like it costs too much. They're hemorrhaging money. Only Microsoft, $1 billion company, could take this kind of loss. And then they're doing it. And now you're like, oh, well, third parties, I understand. But for first parties, they cannot be doing it, except for the fact that they're actually selling the games as well, man. And then on top of that, they got DLC and an environment around it that they're bringing and fostering more spending.
They have monetization models. They also have that. They also have that number, guys, where they've shown that gamers have bought more games because of Game Pass. They bought games within Game Pass, outside of Game Pass. More people are in front of their Xbox because of Game Pass. So it's working. There was another interesting thing that Dustin Furman, his co-host, was making some really good points about the first party offering on Xbox. And Colin said, like, you know, Xbox is out here we're all about, we want to stop, what's the word? Consolidation. Like, consolidation is this big evil unibrow thing
all the time.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want consolidation. And he's like, look at PlayStation. And he's like,
Oh, I saw this. Oh,
The ultimate, like, I sat and listened to his show for a good hour plus today, and like this light of heaven comes down as he talks about PlayStation. He's like, they don't money hat, they create everything, and this choir pulls up and goes, PlayStation makes everything. And then he goes off to rattle off all the studios that PlayStation has. And he goes, this studio, well, they bought them. This studio, well, they bought them too. This studio, well, they acquired them. But this studio they bought that studio. And it went on and on and on. All these studios that used to make multiplatinum. He goes, Starfield. Like, it's the thing about Starfield. Like, that game, we know PlayStation wanted that. And they couldn't have it because Xbox struck the deal. So that's never coming to Xbox, or that's never come to PlayStation. But he's like, what about Elder Scrolls? And we've yet to see a game where they're just going to hold it exclusive from a studio they don't own. Like, he was almost in denial about two things about, will Xbox actually have exclusives? Because I sort of feel that the diehard PlayStation fans, Gaz, they don't want Xbox to ever have an exclusive title to their platform. And the other thing...
Oh, shit. Sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I said no S. Yeah, of course they don't.
And then they just can't see it. And then they have this whole narrative about how Xbox is underfunded. They're going to underfund these games because they can't. Who was it in the chat? I was going to have you read it. I think it was Old Darth said, sustainability is not the same thing as profitable. Yeah, of course. But we've talked about this a million times. Phil had finally had separated out the chaff from the wheat and said, yes, Game Pass is profitable. Before they were talking about the sustainable model, like as overall, because I know people like to say they got to pay for those first party games, they got to pay for the servers, they got to pay for cloud and all that. But he had finally sat down. That's why I said, Gaz, are they spending $3 billion a year to build games in their first party? No, there's no way. So it doesn't add up.
You don't get to end your point or statement or tirade or whatever you call it with the statement, look, they're a public traded company. If it was profitable, they would say so. And when they say so, you say, I don't believe you. Well, then what does that mean about your integrity? Because if I was in that position, you know what I'd say? Okay, fine. I would say, I said it. I'll take the L, but I don't believe it. I've changed my mind because XXX. But this shows...
Go ahead.
I'm not saying I don't understand. Colin Moriarty is an intelligent man.
Very, very.
His bias, not that very. Stop saying, don't exaggerate his intelligence. But I was being nice. But he has critical analysis, biased, and some of his political views I don't agree with. But I don't understand how he can justify that statement, and he keeps shifting the goalposts, and he just seems disingenuous. I'd like to have him come on again if Dustin Furman can talk to me and ignore my DMs, because I just made one source video where I said to you it was all in jest, you little but no, he didn't want to do it. But I want to have a chat with him, and I don't think he's bringing up good arguments. You can't just say, I don't believe you, and then say, oh, the cost of first-party games, and then shift the goalposts there. Completely ignore everything. The environment, the money that the Game Pass fosters. You will completely ignore Microsoft's statements and statistics, so how much people on Xbox Game Pass subscribers spend more. And then also DLC. And also the fact that people are buying games anyway. Game Pass subscriptions actually aren't that high compared to PlayStation. Yes, sure, but they fell short by I think a factor of 10 million or something this year, because
I'm surprised they're that high, since they didn't offer any amazing
games this
offers throughout the year, aside from a few things like Plague Tale Requiem and a couple of great games. But for the most part of the year, it's been we've been sitting here waiting. And I don't like to sit in front of a camera or an audience, Gaz. I don't like to say, man, I was wrong. I don't like to do that, but you can at least... Colin can at least say...
Paris Lily's coming me in chat. He goes, smart people ignore Gaz when he DMs. That's it. You hear that, Jeff Grubb? Apparently, Paris Lily says you're an idiot. Someone record that. Jeff Grubb Paris Lily said you were an idiot, along with a lot of other people.
I need someone to come take away my co-host, put him in the paddy wagon. Colin can at least, like, he doesn't have to say I was wrong about the profitability. He can just say, wow, I would have never in a million years thought that they would actually be turning a profit by how expensive that service looks for Microsoft. And just leave it at that. But he like doubled down and they pushed the goalpost, moved the goalpost out in the parking lot where everyone was tailgating. He was like, he's like, you're going to put this over here? And then just starts bashing the first party studios. Another thing he said was, what he said something about the Xbox studios. He said, they didn't make that. They didn't make that. They didn't make that. It's like Psychonauts 2, that has nothing to do with Xbox. Deathloop, that has nothing to do with Xbox. No, it doesn't. It was made under Bethesda.
Sorry, Colin, that I'm attacking you here. And this is not attack, but critiquing you while you're not here. But you are a personality in this space. You command audience naturally because we're talking about it. So I don't feel like we're backbiting, but screw it. He's a Zionist. But he does say, what did he say? He said, Psychonauts, you can't give it to Microsoft because they bought it after the fact. Okay.
That game is bigger and better because of Xbox. And they've already said that in interviews. Tim Schafer's already explained how they were able to push that game further and further and make it bigger and better because they finally had a safe roof over their heads. Next.
Absolutely. So directly, PlayStation gamers, you got a better Psychonauts as a result of Microsoft. You did. 100%. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Schafer said it. But you can't give credit for Xbox there. Fine. He says Ghostwire Tokyo. What accolades does Ghostwire Tokyo have anyway? It's like, okay. He says, what was the other game? Starfield. So Starfield gets the blame. Microsoft. He blamed Microsoft. A prime example what Microsoft is doing wrong when it got delayed. He was like, look at Microsoft. It's proof they can't handle their studios. But
he did not say that. Did he really say that?
Bro, when Starfield
because
and Red
5 minutes before he said you couldn't give Xbox any credit for Starfield that was already in the works. PlayStation wanted that game, and then he used Xbox as a blame for the delay.
So I'm saying you're taking your cake and eating it. On the one hand, you cannot give them any credit for Starfield because this has been in the works for ages, and even though but Microsoft can get attacked for the studio delaying Starfield. Like, I'm sorry, what? Okay, fine.
All right, let me give.
On this final point, even if he would concede, just to give you another bit of evidence that the mentality of Colin Moriarty, I don't know why you're talking about him like he's like a deity, but just to highlight his hubris and the propensity to change the goalposts, he did say, you know what he said regarding, my anus is bleeding as a result of my ADHD. What was I talking about?
You were talking about Starfield.
In my brain. No, I got it. Yeah. So you know what he said? Ninja Theory. So what's he going to say about Hellblade 2? Obviously going to attribute to Microsoft because they've been developing that under Xbox. But what do you say about Ninja Theory? Why did they buy Ninja Theory? But doesn't make any sense. It's different culture. He talked about the same thing about Psychonauts 2. Double Fine. He goes, why did they buy them instead of culture? It doesn't fit Microsoft.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
When they buy studios and diversify from their bro dude shooters, you criticize and
say they don't belong on the dude bro shooter platform.
And then I've got a clip from him when he was working at IGN or wherever he was working, talking about why Microsoft should buy these studios. Ninja Theory, he specifically mentioned.
Oh, he did.
And I'm like, yeah, I've got a clip. I don't want to deploy it because it's just like, it seems like I'm coming at him violently in a video game discourse.
Oh, we all can't be 100% as you go through an 8-year period, definitely. But I mean,
yeah, absolutely. We all are, fallible. We make mistakes. If Colin Moriarty just enjoys a lot of status because of his IGN and legacy and all of that, but there are many, many cracks in his argument, and in this generation, I'm surprised by how he's just reluctant to give Xbox its dues. Also, in this Lost Stand Media episode, he's giving PlayStation. He talks, both these companies making themselves look really bad, but PlayStation has built a lot of these good games and built a lot of these first-party games and has built its reputation on these first-party games. So why is my PlayStation crying about a third-party multiplayer game, Call of Duty, that it didn't even facilitate its growth of like Xbox did in the 360 days with Call of Duty 2?
Yeah, I want to get in that in just a minute because it's not all one-sided. I know some people in the chat are like, so-and-so is so biased. And you guys and I are very biased in our own ways too. But him and Dustin go on quite a tirade about and how much of a dire situation PlayStation is. Like they are screwed with this deal. It's really bad. They are in a bad situation. We'll get to that in just a minute. I want to remind people, thank you. We got 800 people who are checking out the show. Hit the like button, get that up to 500. We're giving away a code for Evil West. Take it or leave it on Xbox. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Let me read some supers here that just came in. Thank you everybody for supporting the show and being here. Hit that like button. We'll get up to 500 and we can give out that code. I've got it. My mods got it ready to rock once we do. It's just Jess says, I just want to say I appreciate your content. Love you. Thanks, Jess. Thank you so much. This week's been I've been super grateful. With a couple of videos I put out, I'm just really happy that people have been checking them out. Lots of comments, lots of good feedback. Thank you everybody for checking out the show and the video, and we'll get something new going soon. Drawn TJs, thank you so much for the super. Says, hi guys, what do you think about the ABK deal bullshit? And then he has some asterisks. We're in it. And we're going to keep going in just a minute. Jez Corden stops by and gives a 10-pound super with lots of flames. Oh, yeah. I was on their Xbox 2 Plus 1 podcast last week, about a week ago, and that goes up on his channel if you want to check it out. We talked about a lot of this stuff as it was kind of unrolling. Udana Kuzado, who's been a channel member for 34 months and is also one of the great mods on the show, says, let's make a deal. If the USA get further in the World Cup than the UK, oh gosh.
Y'all get Portorock. If the UK goes further, you get to send us Foxy Games UK.
Udani!
Naughty, Udani. Naughty. I like Portorock. Foxy UK, not so much, but yeah. Thank you for that.
I like both of those guys. I'll just say that.
No, Kevin, you don't. You lying piece of He hates them both. He don't believe anything he says. You know, be honest, Cole. Just be honest. You don't like them. Just say it. He's such a liar.
All right. I'll say this. I really try to like Foxy Games because he's a nice gentleman.
Why Foxy? Portorock is cool, man. He's at least genuine. He's not psychopath. Foxy Games UK, play games, not corporations. And then he starts simping for PlayStation 24/7. And there's a video of him acting like a hard nut. I walk firm with my chains out. So shut up, man.
You know, Foxy Games put out a video.
He lives near me.
Like, he put out a video a year ago where he actually edited together an intro that actually used some production values. And he goes, the PlayStation 5 is going to be very... And he did all this jargon, and then he goes, I'm Foxy Colteastwood. And then everybody in his comments like, oh, that was so funny. You totally did a spoof on Colt, who actually produces his videos. Okay, let me move forward.
Isn't that self-awareness that you actually put a little bit effort? Then
he's like, gosh dang it took me 30 minutes to do that intro.
It's stupid. Portorock is cool. I like him. But yeah, he's a blind PlayStation fan.
Well, thanks for doing that, Yodani. I'm going to put you to chill cold. You're the greatest. Kevin Malone with the Canadian 5. Thank you, Kevin. He says, why does everyone want to bring Xbox down? It's getting old. Let us compete, he says. Also, bring back Mech Assault. Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Kevin Malone, I think Mech Assault. What
were you going to say about Kevin Malone?
I was going to say he's a sexy man. No, I was going to talk about what he's talking about, which is why his Xbox was brought down. I think Xbox still needs to prove its worth here. Yeah. I think it's, despite the value, despite being massively pro-consumer, and arguably delivering the best hardware, and being very communicative execs that you can actually have back and forth. These are things that are important, but the industry still puts weight on exclusives. Sure. Even though we buy third-party games in droves, even though we really like indie games like Vampire Survives that are taking more of my time than God of War Ragnarok. I'm not trying to make a point there.
It's a mobile game.
Once Xbox consistently consistently delivers first-party games of the caliber that can go toe-to-toe with PlayStation consistently, then we can say that they've discharged their burden. Because PlayStation hasn't had a failed entirety.
They haven't had
gen
a
Xbox One
downtime
has.
ever, right?
I mean, they've had bits like the start of their gens. Have been
I mean, they had 8 or 9 months. No, I think they had 7 months this year, but I mean, then they delivered God of War Ragnarok at the end of that 7 months. But I have to remind people, I hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it, guys, all the time. I've been doing this channel for 5+ years. I hear it. And the Xbox Game Studios, that newly established logo, Xbox Game Studios is a new name. It's no longer Microsoft Studios. That was new in 2018. I think it was 2018. They have. Are you ready for this? Clip this, someone, and share it on Twitter. Xbox Game Studios has yet to actually deliver one of their games since they were established. Unless you want to count things like Forza and Gears and Halo. They have yet to deliver what they've been established for. Asobo did Flight Sim. I'm not even going to get into all the semantics, but you guys kind of know what I'm saying, right? We're at this situation where they established 5 years ago. Games take 5 or 6 years. I said this on the show. It sucks, and I'm tired of waiting. And we're also going to talk about the VGAs toward the end of the show, which is another big nail biter. Again, another reminder, if you want Evil West, get that like up to 500. We're going to give you Evil West code out for Xbox. So thank you, everybody, for being here. We've got, just over 800 people watching. I got a couple more supers. Alan Aldretti says, what's up, Colton Gaz? Keep up the amazing work. Love you guys. Alan,
love you too, Brad.
Yes, thank you for being here. Highlander 001. Thank you so much for the $10 super. He says, hi guys, I've seen an Xbox and PlayStation YouTube channels. PlayStation guys have to tear down Xbox just to make themselves feel better. Yet Xbox guys don't do that. You guys give smoke when needed.
Well, I do. I love absolutely on PlayStation guys and their favorite console. I just do. But you're right. Generally, PlayStation content creators are here. Xbox content creators are here. In terms of quality, you cannot deny that. And PlayStation guys use, I'm not a YouTuber. King Thrash came at me, then blocked me twice after saying King Trash. He was like, I'm not a YouTuber though, but you make YouTube videos where you sit in a toilet making it on in video, whereas I spend hours, days, sometimes editing. That's not something for you to be proud of. PlayStation guys need to up your quality in thing. I need a better class of opponent in my source videos. Just spend some time doing that. I don't know what the reason for that is. Highlander, that's a good point.
He's mostly right. There are I give crap on this podcast, but
and there's one other
yeah.
And there's some I like. I like Blaze, but it doesn't produce that much content. There's others like that in the space. I'm bringing more PlayStation guys on my chat that I really feel they deliver the quality and they have a personality boot. But as far as content creators are concerned, one, Xbox is best. Two, as the community of gamers, Xbox has the best community. Absolutely. PlayStation guys seem to rally around absolutely crapping on Xbox, whereas Xbox guys can do that, but they also genuinely feel
because they're the underdogs. They have to be a little bit nicer. Let me interrupt you for the 1900th time. Chat, I have to give a huge shout out to Gaz and Asa for go live on the Game On Daily podcast on their channel. They were nominated for, let me read it, narrowed down for the Crowd Ultra Awards of the top 5 new gaming podcasts. Friends Per Second, which is Skill Up's podcast that he does with Lucy James from IGN, or formerly. Yeah, he's in the upper echelon with Skill Up's podcast, who has Jake Ball, Dino, Lucy James, Skill Up, and yeah, I've checked out the show. Game Mess Mornings, which is Grub's show. Old Gamers Almanac, the Game Informer show from the Game Informer magazine. Game On Daily got nominated up the top 5 for this gaming podcast.
1,000 nominations,
bro.
If was Jeff Keighley, he wouldn't nominate me. But thank you. Thank you to them.
And I have to say, like,
this
this show exists because of Asa and Gaz. When I saw what they were doing, bringing guests in, popping footage up, and I don't know, I look up to them, but I'm really glad, I'm grateful to have you here. At this Thanksgiving dinner, we hold hands and we unite in love. No, but thank you, bro. Congrats.
I'm just
chat. Tell them congrats. Let me move forward. You're awesome.
Sorry. Just any excuse for that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm gonna get one of those. Let's talk about me getting one of those. All right. I want to do some of that stuff. Hargeet Chani, thank you so much for the chat. Didn't talk to you today. But he says Sony fans can't argue the quality of PS games anymore. PlayStation has outright stated only one game matters: Call of Duty, and Sony doesn't make it. Xbox is going to own it. Nintendo has Mario/Zelda. Discussion over. Oh my gosh.
It's true, man. Like, this is bro, when last week I had all these people come at me because Pride. I said, okay, so this is my tweet that did the rounds. The PlayStation guys were having fun with it. And I stick by this statement. If only people had the intellectual capacity to understand what I'm actually getting at here. They said, I said PlayStation's image is forever besmirched with the ABK fiasco, rife with hypocrisy, gross exaggeration, and real desperation. Is this really the demeanor of a market leader conducting itself with any semblance of pride? People latched on the word pride, and they brought up, oh, well, shareholders don't give a damn about pride. Are you talking about a Japanese company that doesn't care about pride? And also, generally, for years, you have espoused this company that operates with all this pride as a result of the quality it delivers and how it handles itself. And then how bad Microsoft is, this evil mega corporation that can't deliver. And you're telling me that has no semblance in this space? A company that it was so bold that it stood on its platform exclusivity and the titles that it released, and now it's there cowering and begging and being obstructive, not letting Microsoft compete. All these first-party studios that you fanboys always bring up. But if you had any notion of objectivity, you would say, fine, let them have Call of Duty, this one game in a first-person shooter. We have Bungie now. We can deliver. Our studios can deliver incredible first-person shooter. They have the skill set to do it. They're making it now. Why do I believe in PlayStation's first-party studios to deliver a good first-person shooter more than the ponies do? Why is that? I genuinely believe PlayStation Studios could deliver a knockout. If it's not to Call of Duty, at least it is to Halo. You've got all the cards set up to completely, even if Halo has killed itself as in comparative I don't know, glory of its old days.
Yeah.
The value in having a Halo killer or a first-person shooter from PlayStation that reviews better, is a better multiplayer component, better campaign comparatively to Halo Infinite, would be huge. It would be the equivalent of Xbox delivering a better third-person game than God of War or The Last of Us.
There's a major difference. Like, if Xbox made a semi-open world third-person game that was like rated up there with an Uncharted, it would, people would talk about it, but that's not what everyone's worried about. We got to talk about this thing where Jim Ryan said that he doesn't want to become the next Nintendo, and well, it wasn't Jim. We always say it's Jim Ryan. It was the regulatory, the lawyers, but we just say it's Jim. Phil said this, Jim said that. What I'm trying to latch onto is, because you're going that direction about how they need to make a first-person shooter, and Colin and Dustin, I'm supporting what they say in this, because they're talking about how they're in big trouble, because it's admittedly so that PlayStation, most of their money that comes in every year comes from two avenues. This is going to be a shocker for the fanboys that have this narrative, right? There's two avenues where PlayStation gets most of their money. One is Call of Duty. It's like a majority of where their money comes in. The other one is from PlayStation Plus, which is required for all those people playing Call of Duty. So Colin paints this really dire picture where if PlayStation doesn't get as many people onto Call of Duty, guys, they're going to lose sales. They're going to lose possible sales of the console, and they're going to lose possible people who they say that. Remember, he says there's people that only buy a console because their friends are playing Call of Duty on that console, and that's the only game they play. So let's talk about that first, about what's missing and what they need to do to fix it.
Who, PlayStation?
Yes, PlayStation, because you were talking about how they're missing. You gave part of this speech, and I was listening to you. You know, even with the you're talking about how they need to. It's not a Halo killer. They don't have to build a Halo killer. They have to build a Call of Duty compete.
Well, I mean, SOCOM is the obvious one. No, the fans have been asking for it. It was the game that really did online on the PlayStation with some degree of seriousness. Why have you sat on that? And Hello, Menepo, thank you for the $10 super chat. He says PlayStation can make a compelling first-person shooter, but it'll take them 6 years. They couldn't pump it out like COD does every 3 years without losing something. So why did they sat on their hands for
That's 100%. That's 100% right.
Yeah,
and it's not against PlayStation. It's not a dig like, oh, it's going to take them forever. Elemental PO it would be Xbox's problem too. If Xbox lost Call of Duty went away, and they said we need something bad, they'd be in the same boat because it takes 5 to 6 games, right, Hargeet Chani, to 5 or 6 years to make a great game. Go ahead, Gaz.
But it's PlayStation's fault. They forsake the first-person genre, despite trying early on with the PlayStation 3 days and at the launch with Shadowfall. They gave it up.
Yeah,
relied on the
third
person. Yeah, the third-person sad dad simulators, and that's it. They rode on it, and it's starting to come home to roost that they did. Whereas Xbox did the right thing. They focused on these. This is Sony's statement to the regulators where they said, well, now if this goes through, they want us to become Nintendo because Microsoft will have a monopoly in the first person shooter genre. This is my problem with PlayStation. They got too lazy. They relaxed on coasting with Call of Duty. That's what I can argue about Microsoft, this $1 trillion company that's struggling so much. I've just sat on these first party studios too. I can do that. So don't just think it's coming from me at one-sided view like Colin Moriarty, because I'm very scathing about Microsoft as well. But as far as this conversation is concerned, I genuinely think PlayStation suck with their attitude here. If I was a PlayStation-only gamer, or I was in this console war space, or I was just a PlayStation fan, I'd be really disappointed. What I want to see PlayStation fanboys, and I don't see them say this, is yo, man, it's a bad look. Just we don't care. Just get on with it. All these years we spent talking about Naughty Dog and Guerrilla Games and all these studios and Studio Santa Monica and Insomniac, and you're telling me not a single one can let them make their games. PlayStation, Xbox, take your Call of Duty. You're getting Call of Duty for 10 years. So what are you losing? Explain to me what you're losing.
Here's part of what you're explaining. The problem with PlayStation, you said the third person sad dad thing. I often wonder, and I really, really liked Days Gone, but I often wondered if there was pressure on Ben Studios to make a Naughty Dog / Uncharted game. Because, I'm sorry, Naughty Dog, Uncharted / Last of Us is what I meant to say. Because when I played Days Gone, guys, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like Uncharted meets The Last of Us with the zombies. It's got the best of both things. It does it really well. Not the best of. I'm sorry, my tangent. I'm trying to get. Does Ben Studios feel pressure to follow the PlayStation formula? It's a great Erica's win.
That's a good
did those PlayStation formula shorts, which are freaking so fantastically charming. Ben Studios well, we got to kind of, we make this and we're guaranteed to appeal to the fans. And 8 million people bought Days Gone, and it was considered a critical failure from the platform. I think the game's great. The year before, Xbox goes out on a limb and lets Rare make Sea of Thieves, which should have come out a year later, because that game has seen 14 million people play it, more than Days Gone. But there's something that has to be said about a game that you can continue to play. You cannot continue to play a game on a PlayStation first-party title other than Sackboy Big Adventure. For the most part. And Colin and Dustin, like, they highlighted that for PlayStation, guys. I don't know if you listened that far, but they were like, he goes, when you play something like God of War Ragnarok, you play it for 40 hours, it's incredible, and you talk about it for a month, but it's done. You play something like Forza Horizon, every week they have new content. You can play with your friends, you can play against your friends, you can play with or against strangers on the internet. It's an endless cycle of fun that people continue to come back to. The numbers show it's true that I mean, he basically called those games one and dones. I don't like that phrase. That's what they are. But it's a bad situation.
One and done. That's what it is.
The model is, guys, bring somebody into a game they love and they want to continue to play it over and over and over and over. Like Phil Spencer said like 5 years ago, our best customer is the one that buys one console and buys lots of games and keeps that console for as long as they can. He doesn't want to shove a new console in your face every three months or 3 years. He said that. He's like, I don't care if you buy the one thing and you can just continue to play on it and play on it. Like that thing is like a place for you to spend money. That's our best customer because he doesn't want to gouge you with hardware. They're there to sell you games. Yeah. And PlayStation does not offer something that will last longer than 2 to 3 weeks, like an Apex Legends, or like when you play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, you're on that thing. You're on it over and over and over and over. You pay $70 for it. You get to play it for hours and hours. And do you get sick of it? Maybe 6 months down the road or 9 months down the road, or maybe, hey, the newest coming out. That was my soapbox. I'm sorry.
No, it's a good point. That's why the PlayStation is completely rejigging their whole market strategy by focusing on exactly what Xbox has been focused on, live service and multiplayer games. That's why I don't give PlayStation credit for sitting on their asses for years, not building on that genre. That's my personal favorite, which is why I'm on the team Xbox, because they do deliver. Now they have got id Software, my number one favorite, because I used to play Quake more than anything, almost near professionally with the World Quake 3 champion. Now that's on Xbox. Then Call of Duty going in there. Not that it makes any real difference to me, other than the fact that I get it free on Game Pass. Okay, massive deal, but PlayStation gamers are getting it too. Xbox, same problem. Like Lord Cognito says, Lord, I call him Lord, that's crazy. Yeah, Cog says from the Iron Lords, just one AAA third-person game. That's not Hellblade 2. It's
right. You have to have both.
I can't sympathize with PlayStation. I can't. People think I'm just coming as a blind Xbox and attacking PlayStation, but genuinely pisses me off that PlayStation are like this. Yes, go in the back. Come on, tell us what you want to say.
I have to go to the bathroom.
That was the wrong one.
Here's the thing. I've heard this for so many years. You don't need first-person shooters on PlayStation. Like, where's your first-person shooters? We don't need them. We got Call of Duty and all these other multi-plats. And then the Xbox guys go, where's the third-person games, Xbox? And they go, we don't need them. We have them with the multi-plats like Assassin's Creed and all these games. So you get the same thing. You kind of need both consoles. Like, if you want to have those specific games, if you want the third-person action-adventure games and the JRPGs, you have to have a PlayStation. Everything else is available to you. And if you want the first-person shooters, or if you want the online games that people are playing like crazy, you have to have an Xbox. That's just how it is. But what we were getting at is PlayStation is in this horrible position where they really feel like, because I've said this for years, there's no loyalty with those Call of Duty fans. There's no console platform loyalty. Crossplay has been a thing for 3-4 years. There's no loyalty. That when the new Call of Duty is offered on Game Pass, they'll just go play it there, or they'll go buy it on a PC, or they'll go buy an Xbox, or they'll go buy a PlayStation. There's a situation where PlayStation thinks, guys, that they're going to lose a mass of console sales. They're going to lose the residual sales of the games of all the people who don't buy it on PlayStation. And then they're going to lose a bunch of, hey, free money every year when people pay for PlayStation Plus to access online multiplayer. Let me grab some supers. We've got over almost 1,000 people watching, guys. I got to take a breath. Thank you so much for checking out and supporting the show that Gaz and I do. I really feel like X&C is this small thing. We're so happy to be here. We love the chat. You guys are awesome. Gaz, you got to say something, because I'm really happy that we've got people here checking us out. It means a lot.
Everyone in chat, go yourselves.
And there is the yin and the yang. Let me read these supers. We got those might open up a can of worms, but maybe only for a second. Angry Hippie, thank you so much. He says, "Did you see Sony licensed a Starship Troopers first-person squad-based game on Steam only? Sony licensed? Oh, Sony Picture Studios licensed. Okay." Thank you, Angry Hippie. Yes, I did see this Starship Troopers first-person shooter. It's made by the same people that made Terminator. What's it called, Gaz? It was like a recent Terminator game that didn't do very well.
I don't know.
Gaz like, I don't know. Anyway, it looks cool, but those games typically flop. You know, like I'm sorry, but I hate to be like that, but I've watched the Aliens movie or the Aliens games recently. The Predator one did horrible. The Blair Witch one did horrible. The Friday the 13th one did horrible. The Teletubbies Murder in Nightingale did horrible. But Jigga J, thank you so much for the super. Says, what is ZeniMax Online working on? Where's the game? 200 plus people working on it. It's a new IP. They're 4 years into it. It's definitely not Elder Scrolls related. Wow. It's definitely not Fallout related since they have Fallout 76. Gaz, what do you think ZeniMax is working on? It's going to be a new game, and it's probably going to be multi-plat.
Multi-plat.
What's ZeniMax? What other IP could they be? No, it's a new IP. I don't know. I'm drinking water.
I don't know.
It's an MMO of some sort, right?
Bro, by next year, I want to see most of these games. Although I'm so tired of Xbox. I want to fit. You know what? Pick PlayStation. I just wait. Bro, if next year someone tells me after the E3 show that just wait next year, I will end them. I will be so vexed that someone makes that excuse. Chat. Can I make a poll? Can you make a poll, please?
Yes, yes. I'll write it up right now. What do you want me to say, bro?
Say, does Xbox have to deliver next year? No excuses. Yes or no?
I know what the answer is. Does Xbox have to deliver in 2023? No excuses?
Yeah. No excuses.
I mean, Gaz, this poll has to be 100% yes. It has to be. I mean, if you're a PlayStation fan, if you're not really an Xbox fan, you're going to say, yes, they have to deliver. If you're a real Xbox fan, yes, they have to deliver. So I'm going to ask the community on your behalf. There you go.
I just want to do this because this is how fickle people are. Just before the Xbox Showcase event this summer, I asked people on our show, is that the case? Xbox has to deliver, right? Yes. They have to deliver all of these things. And when they didn't do that, very specific parameters, or they have to show this, and they didn't, people still made excuses. But Game Pass. So I don't want to hear Game Pass next year. I want to see the big AAA bangers because that's how we assess quality in this space. Mm-hmm. So next year, we need to see Xbox deliver. And I cannot entertain any excuse, no matter how nicely comes from Phil Spencer's mouth. As nice as he is, I don't want excuses. I want the goods. I just do quality.
They are feeling the pressure right now, like they are dilated to a 4. And they're like contractions are coming in, the baby is breached. Like they have to feel the pressure. And there's no way they can go. There's no way they can go. There's no way. Highlander, thank you so much for the super. He says, I would love to see Mystic on this channel. Only PS guy I like, and he does not attack Xbox games, and he's supposed to bring us... Games are supposed to bring us together.
I understand games are bring us together. It's a Paris Lily song. Kumbaya, my love, Kumbaya.
When you sing, your mouth is like this teeny tiny little... oh my gosh, I love it.
Arabia sorry, Rich.
Salam, good evening to you. Elementary, you read that one. Hargi Chani sends another super. I am getting so warm in here. No, I can't turn on my fan because I have a light, and I'll have to stand up, and yeah, it's a whole thing. He says, not up to ABK to sustain PlayStation. I could just stop right there and Hargy gets a Nobel Prize for that statement. It's not up to ABK. And I said the same thing. Hold on, Hargy. I'll read the rest of that in a second. I said the same thing in a tweet. He's not on Twitter. Where when this news came out last week, I said, PlayStation, it's not Xbox or Activision's job to make certain genres for your platform. It's your job. You had 3 tentpole first-person shooters in Resistance, Killzone, and SOCOM, and you let them die because they let them die during when FPSs were on this huge, where everyone was making FPSs. But anyway,
yeah.
Okay, he says, it's up to Sony to do that. That's how the market works. If PlayStation doesn't have a compelling offering, too bad. Regulators are not supposed to support competitors. Compete, Sony. Deal. Well, we got John Wolf. John Wolf's great. I've been talking to him quite a bit on social media. He says, Jim Ryan and PlayStation are shook. Xbox dominated Black Friday. Well, I don't know. I don't know if they did, but...
Yay! You said it did. The whole starting point of your podcast was the whole thing.
Yes, about the sales, but I mean, yeah, in North America they dominated Black Friday, I suppose. I guess it just doesn't make sense to me that Series X outsold
Black
the Series
Friday
S.
serious, man. There's a whole South Park episode about PlayStation versus Xbox on Black Friday bundles. Remember that?
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Oh my god, the whole episode was based on PlayStation versus.
Nice.
You're such a prick.
Anyway, John Wolf says Xbox is winning the casual over. Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, I think they're doing really well with the casuals. Jim's worst nightmare are here. Beg, Jim, beg. John Wolf is out for blood. Joe Dunmore says there's a YouTube channel called Game Boys that reviewed The Last of Us 2 and summed up Days Gone perfectly. I'll have to check that out because I didn't love Last of Us 2. Fully finished it though. Highlander says if the Activision deal falls apart, Bobby Kotick gets $300 million. If it goes through, he gets between $1.5 to $2 billion. Bobby Kotick wants this.
Who cares? Who cares what Bobby Kotick wants? Like, he's just an unfortunate personality riled up in this. Who cares? The bad guys always win, right?
Yeah. I don't
Who cares?
Selfish Burrito says, let us compete. Thank you for the super. We love that. We absolutely love it. Ice Cold Cabbage says, why is an 8-bit game like Vampire Survivor better than Boar of War? His words, not mine. Sony is going to lose their shirt to Game Pass this gen, and they know it. Gaz, is that true? Not the God of War thing, or the Boar of War.
The Game Pass thing?
Are they going to lose their shirt to Game Pass this gen?
Game Pass is a disruptor, but Phil Spencer's statement alluding to, which I don't agree with, Xbox hitting its ceiling, says maybe they need to readjust some things.
I don't believe him. Yeah,
I don't believe him either. I think Xbox Game Pass subs will increase next year if they deliver the quality, and they will go more and more. Yeah, you got so many great games on the horizon for Xbox.
They've grown. I don't know how many million did they grow, Gaz? Sorry, when I look over here, I'm making sure that if I interrupt Gaz, I'm not a total jerk. How many did they grow this year with like no content, no first party AAA bangers? I don't know. They did grow.
I don't know, but they did. And I seem to have more confidence than Phil, unless that was just public posturing for some reason, which is weird though. Why would you downplay or mention that it's slowed down on Xbox? But yeah, no, Game Pass can potentially do that. It's a game changer. Everyone in chat who's subscribed to Game Pass, you have experienced games you wouldn't have played normally. I have. Vampire Survivor is amazing. I'm going to 100% it. I would not have bought that. You would have saved a lot of money, especially now. It's so expensive nowadays. Xbox Game Pass has saved that. So Xbox Game Pass has changed the way I play games, how many types of games I enjoy. It always asks, is it coming to Game Pass? You cannot deny that. And this is why I believe Xbox almost deserves a win this gen because of the quality of value. But still, it's all about exclusives. Sorry, I've gone on.
They're going to jack the price up, though. Elemental Pio says, do you know what that name means, Gaz?
Elemental P. I don't know.
It's from the alphabet. LMNOPOQRST.
I know that. Yeah. That's what he's saying about.
It's also it sounds like onomatopoeia, which is I think a word that sounds like, that is written like the sound effect, I think.
Yeah.
Help me out on that, you grammar Nazis. Okay, so we got Elementor Peter says, which console maker will have the most next-gen only games in 2023? You don't like that I said that word? I apologize. That's an old phrase. I won't say it again. You grammar Elon Musk's.
We can't say grammar Nazis. It's stupid. You shouldn't have to make them like Lord Voldemort. The Nazis existed. They were pricks. Now they're gone. They're good.
Lord Voldemort. Why you got to go nerdy? Which console maker will have the most? Which console maker will have the most next gen only games in 2023? Well, it won't be Nintendo.
No, it won't.
I mean, Forspoken is only on a PS5. No, it's not.
Which console will have the most next gen games?
I think. Well, I'm sure he's saying like exclusives. So will PlayStation or Xbox have which one will have more next gen only exclusives? Because I don't think Xbox has anything cross gen at all.
No, as far as exclusives, most of its stuff is, unless they're doing a U-turn, is pretty much next gen only. Hellblade, Elder Scrolls will be. Redfall is next gen only. Forza is next gen only.
For what we know, yeah,
Fable,
Redfall, Starfield, and Forza are all supposed to come, and they're all next gen only. I think Forspoken just got pushed into 23, and it's cross gen, so probably Xbox.
Yeah.
Atar Kade, or I'm going to say Atar Kade because it sounds even cooler. Says if 2023 is just 2022's delayed games, is that fine? I love that question. Good question. Chat, can you put that as a poll? Because I'd love to see what these. Well, I mean, their last poll, 12% said it was going to be okay. And shout out to Zocker in the chat as well. He's a fraud.
Baby Zocker.
We love Zocker.
I want to know your view on.
I mean, that's. I'm sorry, guys. That's the very real possibility. Unless they have, unless that 12-month thing was just to hold us over to get us through January or so. That's a really huge L. And like we talked about that last week on the show, like regarding Paris's tweet where he said they can't just give us the delayed games from 2022 and say, look, it's Paris good now. That was part of what he was saying in that thread.
Paris said that. Ooh, Phil Spencer will be mad at you, huh? No yellow chair for you, Paris. No, good point though. It's a good point. No, absolutely, I agree with Paris, which sounds kind of wrong to say, but just he's right.
Take a breath and let this happen. That you're going to agree with Paris.
Paris, Lily, I agree with you.
Oh, we'll actually get into that.
No, it's a great question, chat. Dumb question, since half of Sony 2022 was 2021 delayed. Oh my god! Of course, Pixel Bit G just went straight to Sony. Listen, man, it's not the same thing. Okay, listen. PlayStation has delivered consistently anyway. If an Xbox does that, then you can talk about that. God, if we get Starfield and Redfall and then Forza.
And then Forza, which I think was delayed, which was silently delayed until 2023.
Well, we can't say it's delayed if it's silently delayed. I think I'm going to say it.
I'm going to say it, yeah, but go ahead. Zocker says they actually need to have those games, the ones announced, and a surprise or two on top of that, and I think he says that perfectly.
Zucker,
there at least needs to be one big surprise game. Like, we'll talk about it later on when we talk about VGAs, the showcase. But, like, Avowed, gosh dang it, Avowed better be ready. It better be ready for, like, at least for them to say, hey, we're shooting for 2023. At least something like that. Let me get to the next one. Burke says, think about the backlash Xbox will receive if 2023 flops. I completely trust the BS years are over starting in January 2023. F you guys. Alpine Productions. Oh, what a great name. I love that. Alpine Productions with a $5 super. Thank you for that. And when you say that name, it brings me back to the 90s. Me driving around with an Alpine stereo system in the dash or an Alpine amp. I just love the old good days. Kevin Malone with the Canadian 10 says, I'm personally looking forward to PlayStation's slate of service games, their games of service, because it will give one more reason to engage with their ecosystem. The Last of Us Online could be amazing in my opinion. I think he's right. Sad Dad games
Yeah.
bore me. My friends
Absolutely.
love factions. Yeah.
I love Factions. The first one was amazing. So, well, there was only the first one, but this one could be pretty good. I'm very confident in Naughty Dog. Why wouldn't I be? They already delivered a great multiplayer. Now to increase the scope of it in a survival kind of game with that kind of fidelity, go for it. I'm very excited about that. Trust me, I'd love it. PlayStation delivered in the multiplayer. I'm multiplayer centric. PlayStation do it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Xbox fans, enjoy the sauce.
Enjoy the sauce. We got 2 more. Did you know Sony only grows games organically? Says Jay the Earp. That's great. Mendigo with a Canadian $2.79 says, Cole, are you Johnny Sins? Confirm or deny? Johnny Sins. All that makes me think of is play the guitar, Johnny Guitar from Fallout New Vegas. I don't know who Johnny Sins is, but yes, I am him, as always. Moving forward just an inch or two. Let's pump the brakes for a second, guys. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Let me go to Bang.
Want to go to Bang? You want to Bang?
Yeah. You'll see here in a second. So we are at 426 likes, just 75 more or so, and we'll be able to give out that code for Evil West. And when that drops, it's first come, first serve. Before you start, guys, I gotta say, I like this game. I don't love it. Sometimes I'm annoyed. Sometimes I'm bored. Sometimes I'm frustrated. But I moved the difficulty. Gaz is playing it on hard. Gaz, take the mic. This game, you hate it. You hate it.
Hate is a strong word. And it's an appropriate word here. Because I completed it and you made me buy this game because we game share. So you made me buy it. I wanted to play it. Saw the crap scores. And you're like, let's make up my mind. Nope. The reviews were right. Metacritic was right. If anything, they were a bit too generous. No. My frustration for this game is born. I made a video on it. Whether or not you're going to watch it. Hardly anyone's going to watch it. It's on my channel where I just rage about this game because it's a 360 game with a next-gen sheen. I say sheen, unless you're playing in performance mode, which is blurry on consoles, but it's 60. And you've got it here. Like, I can see a trillion issues. Everything is orange. Everything is red in this thing.
Everything is whatever color cast, yeah.
And then you have to shoot yellow time prompts that are colors like that. You've got annoying enemies that drop these globules of whatever STDs at you, and you're like, and then it's like there's no decent crowd control. Like, this is a poor man's God of War, but that's an insult to God of War. Like, the story
is
poor,
so much like God of War in so many ways, though. The camera, the placement, the some of the button configurations. It's like they looked at God of War 2018 and said, how can we do that but take people back to 2009?
Yeah, and a lot of people in my video were like, well, I enjoyed it, which is fine. It just means you have crap taste. No, it frustrated because I played it on hard and the game isn't designed to scale on hard, because what it does is it forces you. This game will, I'm sure, better on normal mode. I haven't played it, but on that or easy modes, I don't never play on normal or easy anyway. But you're bullet sponging enemies, cheap encounters, loads of bugs.
You're getting smacked. This is the same problem. There's going to be God of War footage after this that I recorded at God of War Ragnarok. You are constantly getting smacked here or here or here, because the camera doesn't let you see. Both God of War and Evil West do not pull the camera back during combat like Assassin's Creed Odyssey would. Like, so you have no situational awareness other than this. It's like somebody puts a paper cone on your head and says, "Have fun."
And then on top of that, you've got
soccer.
And here comes Special Nick. It's the duo literally just sitting there making a human centipede. Listen, you two. If you enjoyed the game, that's fine. I know Zorka isn't enjoying it particularly, especially you got God of War there. definitely wait for a sale. I just want to talk to the developers and say, what's the idea behind this? Look at this. Barrage of punches is usually relegated to one enemy. In game encounters require you to fight multiple. So where's
that's
the
half their
AoE
health on
kind
some of the
attack?
hits. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. On hard, it doesn't even kill them, or you have to do 3 times to kill one of these little squishy things. They're supposed to be squishy. Camera's broken, multiple bugs, stuck in the floor. Story is rubbish.
I've not had the stuck in the ground where your like thighs are stuck in the ground glitch like you have.
Can't move.
I haven't had it yet. I played it on normal. I got over halfway through the game, and you were raging in party chat, and I was kind of enjoying the game, and you were hating it. And after you left, you went to bed for the night or whatever, and I switched it to story mode,
section,
which is that's fun. And then compete. And I changed it to story mode, and they just need something in between. But you can actually pull off some cool stuff when you're not getting absolutely reamed by every enemy. There are some games I've played on easy, and right now, over halfway through, I've switched it to easy. And I am having a lot more fun with the game because you're on normal, Gaz. You're 2 hits away from death at all times. There's one hit that takes almost all your health. One more hit, you're gone if you can't heal up. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just it's not as great as it looks. Like it's good at fooling you and thinking it looks fun. But it's not when you actually play it. Like, puzzles are poor, absolutely rubbish. The reload mechanic in the gun, why is that? You don't have to have a reload mechanic in a game because you can't manually reload. You have these yellow little prompts coming at times. Sometimes you're like, I haven't got enough bullets, or I can't even have time to aim because I have to switch to melee, and there are 15 people, and half the time you're just dodge rolling or zapping away to move. It's just a game that, to me, signified a lot of things that are wrong with over-reliance on these tropes that have carried on from 2 generations old. God of War is actually mechanically quite similar in many ways, but it manages to escape that through 1, polish, 2, great visual fidelity, 3, the big one with Ragnarok. Its gameplay is astounding. So why is it sitting at a 94? Strongly believe it's because of the narrative in the game. It is so well told.
Really good, well done, yeah.
I'm playing this story just to experience the dialogue and development of Atreus or however you say it. Atreus and Kratos. Atreus actually is an annoying piece of this time round.
Kratos and Atreus.
Kratos and Atreus. So yeah, everyone's gonna say yes, it looks fun because it does. That's what made us.
Well, I mean,
something get good. Oh, 1v1 me, you piece of. But I didn't mean to
stop yelling at the chat.
I love yelling at the chat. Look, so Richard says that balance sounds like it's absolutely dog, and it is. The balance is bad. The bosses are badly designed. The enemies are badly designed. Not a single enemy. Look at these yellow bouncing things. How's that fun? Like, you're designing a game. There's like 5
enemies in the game as well. I think maybe 6 types.
You have boss battles, and then they
got little puzzles.
Like normal battles. The puzzles are rubbish. It's like so bad. There's one bit where you have to lower a bridge to cross these 2 platforms, but there's a tiny box blocking your way. So you could just climbed over it, but you couldn't because it didn't.
I hate that. This is one of those games where you can't climb over any fence. There's a fence that's like up to his hip, and he's like, oh, no, there's no lit up chain for me to tell me I can mantle over that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I definitely give it much higher marks than you would, and I've been enjoying it, partially because you paid for it. No, but it's good. It's good.
It's fun for people who apparently it wasn't fun for me. And if the developer was sitting in front of me, and I'd say the same thing. I'm like, look, man, I just did not enjoy it. I don't understand what was your mission statement. If it was really just like, let's just get away with making this kind of specific image we had for a Western and this and that, I'm just going to say what I've said all along. The games like this, gaming needs to evolve. This is a AA game from a smaller studio.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's definitely AA.
So it's fine.
But also the
people like,
360 PS3 era styling is what makes me keep playing it. It's part of that, like, oh, I remember when games were just video games and they weren't like a narrative cinematic movie you had to sit through and grab popcorn. But
yeah,
but then there's just some things it doesn't do as well as far as variety. Like when I was standing up before I jumped down into that obvious pit, there's enemies there, and if you shoot them, the game's like puts an X and a shield over them. Like, no, you can't shoot these enemies until you get into the battle arena and trigger
like really
combat.
Bad. Yeah, it's really bad design.
We're not selling the code very well, but it is a free code for if we get up.
A lot of people enjoyed it. Look, if you go on my video where I've just ranted about it, everyone's disagreeing with me. So yeah, clearly they like it. That which means,
and I told you. I told you to lower the difficulty, but you're like, my pride, my gamer pride. I'm going to walk into a store and someone's going to say, you played on normal. No one cares, guys.
Bro, I almost completed it on hard. Then you want me to change it in the last few moments. I couldn't.
How much was the achievement for beating it on hard?
I got an achievement for it, but I don't know what it is. BG from Broken Games HDR, he completed on evil difficulty. The achievement didn't pop for him, and it hasn't popped for a lot of people because it's bugged. Imagine complete on an evil. This game is horrible and hard as it is. So yeah, I hated this boss battle, the brooch. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Yeah, this is the one you were raging on. I recorded like 20, 30-second clips here, and almost all of them are on normal mode. And then there's a couple toward the end where I think I was on the easy mode. But yeah, your health.
You were in party with me on COD. You had like -75. Don't even say anything. Little troll.
I mean, there are people there. I put up a poll for those who were listening on demand. I said, does Evil West look fun here on the show? And I've got like 20 minutes of gameplay, and 71% said yes. 29% said, Gaz, we don't like you. No, but no, some people say no. And it is a AA game. And we also got Gungrave Gore, which is like a very 360 era game that is AA that came to Game Pass. Evil West didn't come to Game Pass. That one got like a 50 Metacritic. But I still downloaded it. I'm going to end the poll because you guys are amazing. Yeah. Mandigo has another super. He says, Phil Spencer, Jim Ryan should box every year for Call of Duty marketing rights. You know,
I would pay major. Do you guys ever watch Celebrity Deathmatch? That was amazing with Plasticine. I used to be a massive fan of Korn. So when I saw them on, like Jonathan Davies, and he actually replicated the Freak on a Leash Korn going through someone, I died. Something takes a bite of my. Did you ever listen to Korn? You're such a piece.
No, I didn't.
You and I were meant to be. I haven't.
Want to know something even better? Want to know something
almost
even better?
Got expelled for school, by the way, for Korn. I sprayed it.
I couldn't even tell you. I only know one name of a Korn song, and I couldn't even tell you what it sounds like. I'm going to make some enemies, but back during the NuMetal phase, I was like, nah, no thanks.
Oh my god, I love the NuMetal phase. It was all me.
I was like, oh my gosh, I was rolling my eyes.
Disturbed. That wasn't.
I know who it is. Let the fire hit the
Oh man, that was the NuMetal days was the best. Man.
There was some stuff I liked, but I mean, whatever. But yeah,
everyone at school just found me weird. Like this Asian Pakistani guy dressed like a grunger who was a massive gamer nerd.
What about System of a Down? Where was Surge from? He's from.
He's Armenian.
Middle Eastern. Armenian.
He's Armenian. Yeah.
I was also getting into guitar then, and everyone had 7-string guitars with necks that are like this thick, and I'm like, Anyway.
Oh, what? It was such a brilliant I love the music. I love Korn, man. No, I was such a big Korn fan. Like people knew me as the Korn fan. I almost got expelled from school for spraying it on the wall.
Yeah, I also couldn't tell you one Insane Clown Posse song. I wouldn't even be able to recognize it.
Insane Clown? Oh, not them. No, okay, fine. Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, there was just there was a bunch of bands that everyone liked back then. I'm like, I just didn't listen to them. But anyway.
Sorry, we digress there.
Yeah, we do digress, but no, it was a pretty hot time for gaming. I want to talk about this. This is kind of funny. A big PlayStation fanboy, a real big PlayStation fanboy, promised he was going to delete his Twitter account if Xbox fans more than 3%, more than 3% completed Pentiment. And I am not one of them. I only got like 2 hours in the game. I've never picked it back up. But he was like, if it gets over 3%, I will do. And this is one of those guys that has blocked everybody. He's blocked me for years. He's always just jumping into the, I'm not even going to mention the name, but he's one of those guys that jumps in everyone's lane and says, slaps the Snickers out of their hand.
Oh, he's basic PlayStation fanboy. Completely
Right.
basic. The guy was simping for PlayStation for 2 years. He didn't even own the console. And
He's
it's
like, I refuse to pay over MSRP. It's like, bro, now you have to because you live in a country where they jack the price.
Oh man! And of course he wasn't a man of his word because he's a PlayStation fanboy.
He turned
miles away.
He turned around and said, "I said 4% because I said over 3. Over 3% is 4%, and the literal screenshot shows the game at 3.03%, which is over." And I said, "I don't know. I think they teach you decimal value numbers in like second grade or maybe third grade. Maybe I'll have to ask my son." But they definitely teach it a long time ago. But, you can forget, I suppose. You can forget what decimal values mean, Oh, my gosh. Look at Hargeet just dropped a code for Evil West and Sonic Frontiers and Gotham Knights. Holy crap, Hargeet is amazing. Thank you so much. I have to read the super.
Wow.
Someone asked, I actually skipped over it because
That's
was
insane.
Shoot. Where is it? It
Gotham
was
Knights,
about
Sonic
the sales of
Evil
2
West.
games.
Oh shit, games. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, where is it? I need to read that super. It's about the sale of Sonic Frontiers. Give me a second. I'm trying to read slowly so I don't just go over it.
What,
oh my gosh. Raiden Blaze says, Gaz, you can talk crap about Xbox, but not Disturbed. He likes Disturbed. He wasn't talking crap. He was just correcting me. Correcting me on what song. Ooh, wah, ah, ah, ah.
Yeah.
I am so angry I can't find this. Oh, here it is. No, that's not it. No. Oh, right here. Elemental Pio says, is Sonic Frontiers really outselling God of War? That was like half an hour ago. I don't know that number, but Sonic, but what was it?
Make me bad. Yeah.
What was that? That garbage Pokemon game?
500 likes, you're going to get a free game. If you get it at 500 likes, you're almost there. You're at 469.
We'll have that one guy on that one PlayStation fan do the math for us. How many more likes do we need to get to 500?
That you won. Come on.
I know you can do math. You went to a real college for a few days. No, I know you can do the math. Down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. That okay. Here's the next thing. Chris String from Industry.biz, GamesIndustry.biz.
Pony.
Thank you.
He's a pony. He's a pony. Christopher Dring is a PlayStation guy.
Yes. He gave out his most anticipated games for 2023 as his personal most anticipated, and Starfield and Redfall and Forza Motorsport weren't on it, but Xbox fans, we have to do this and that, right? We just went after the PlayStation guy. Now we have to go to the Xbox fans. PlayStation fans rinsed him. How dare you not mention Starfield, the 2001 Space Odyssey of our day? Why?
We just have like the same games you do.
I know. We're said
2 likes away from get ready.
Okay,
there
Mod.
We hit it.
Mod, put down the code for Evil West. Get your copy your Control-C, Control-V ready in the Xbox app because here comes the Evil West code.
Well done,
wow,
chat.
thank you so much, chat. Wait. Happy Bomb said, congrats, Falcon. Oh, you must have got the one that Hargeet dropped. Happy Bomb, can you drop the code for Evil West when you're ready to? It's not as easy as it is. You have to. These things have to be put into a catapult. You have to crank it up, and then you just fire it off into the ethosphere. Christopher Dring said, do I have his quote? No, but I'll just say people are like, why don't you like Starfield? He was trying to be nice. He was trying to be cool about it. And he said, I'm 37 years old. I've got 2 young kids. I just can't see myself sitting in front of that TV. What he meant was hogging that TV when you have it for the, all right, Happy Bomb just dropped the Evil West code. Go get it. Trust me. If you feel frustrated, just forget the gamer score, turn it down to story, and just rack up the combos. You'll enjoy the game. Whoever gets it, please let me know in the chat who was able to. Donnie says, and it's gone. Please let me know who grabbed it.
Wow.
And then message me. I got to hear how you.
Literally just posted it. They just grabbed that.
Oh, bro.
Who did that? Whoever grabbed that quick, you please your woman. Or man. I don't. Those fast fingers.
How does that work? Like really fast? Yeah, that was quick. Hope you liked it. Got the code. Gaz, what have you done to me? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, Christopher Dring. He said that I've got 2 kids and I don't want to. Basically, he's saying I don't want to hog the TV.
Oh, congratulations to Alt Arcade. He won it. Congratulations.
Do the song.
Congratulations.
Darth Vicious. Oh my gosh, Darth. Bro. It's so good to see you. I haven't talked to you forever. He's got the biggest heart. He's so amazing. Oh, Darth is awesome. Christopher Drink said he doesn't want to like sit in front of that TV and hog it and be in a 100-hour game. So he wants to play smaller games. And Xbox fans were so mad. And then Aaron Greenberg replied to Christopher Dring because so many Xbox fans are going after him. And he said this, guys. Did you hear this?
Can't tell me.
Aaron Greenberg said, "Hey Chris, what if Todd Howard agreed to watch your kids? Would that help?"
Why would you?
He volunteered Todd Howard to watch Christopher Dring's kids so he could play Starfield. Aaron Greenberg's like trying to get that one more sale. Just one more sale. No, that's funny. Yeah,
well, he's entitled to like it, but I knew it was a pony.
I know. I just, that stuff kind of bothers me. Like, why are you going after somebody for their personal, what they're excited about? I put up like what I'm excited about for 2023, and somebody's like, "What about Jedi Survivor?" I'm like, I'm like, "Oh yeah, that too." And then somebody goes, "What about this game?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, can't remember everything."
2023 is a mad year for gaming, just generally. So much madness next year.
Raiden Blade says Series X outsold the Series S and PS5 with God of War Ragnarok bundled in. I don't believe it, Gaz. I just keep saying that.
Are you like Colin Moriarty now? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I just can't see the Series X. I talked to Randall Thorpe before the show, and he said Adobe Analytics has gotten things wrong before. And it's like, just hearing it, I'm like, they don't make as many Series X's, and the Series S are on sale for $250. Like, they're $50 off. If for those of you who are not looking at dollars, right?
Sales, but
doesn't add up. Let's talk about the VGAs. Let's talk about. We're not going to talk about what's nominated. We're not going to talk about what's going to be Game of the Year. Jez Corden says he's got this speculate. I got to say this correctly. He is making an educated guess that Microsoft has little to nothing to show at the VGAs for a couple of reasons. One being they're concentrating on the next 12 months, so they're not going to announce or show anything new, which they've already announced stuff. Why can't they show stuff they've announced 2 years ago? The other reason is they don't want to puff their chest with the regulators eyeballing their every move. I think that's absolute bull crap, Gaz. Let me stop right there. I'm going to ask you about this thing. Like, Microsoft can't go flaunting exclusive. Like, they can't show Avowed because
the regulators will be like, "Oh, you have games."
They've known that game has existed for 2 years. So take the reins, bro. I don't know
where people come out with this. You really think the regulators are keeping an eye out on the showcase? Oh, you had an impressive showcase. How dare you show Hellblade 2 again? How dare you? Starfield gameplay? What? You sick contraband gameplay of Indiana Jones gameplay? Oh, we wouldn't have known this would have existed unless you showed it. So now you really hurt yourself. use your brain, people, man. They can show the games they've already announced. This regulated thing is complete nonsense. The other bits, I don't even know. It's not. They're just. I think they need to show something soon because I'm tired.
The other part could be Xbox doesn't have anything ready to show at the VGAs. So I did a poll. Does Xbox have one reveal? Did I say that? Hold on. Does Xbox have something to reveal at the VGAs? And reveal could mean new gameplay of something we already know is coming. There are quite a few games that have been absent from their discussion. They're not talking about Fable unless somebody, drags, Matt Booty behind their car. They're not talking about Avowed at all. They're talking about Ninja Theory's talking about development of Hellblade. Every once in a while they keep talking. Redfall, they've been talking. Like, are we going to get as little, Gaz, as a Redfall gameplay trailer and a release date? Which could be big.
I don't think it's big.
There's no release date.
A release date is big.
No release dates from Xbox.
Release date.
Soccer. Get soccer real quick.
I mean, we haven't had a show from Sony literally all year. We didn't need one, did you? That little showcase.
I think they've had enough good games and stuff coming really soon where they didn't need to talk. But I also feel like, what the heck are you doing? Your fans want to celebrate. I think PlayStation will suck next year.
I have a feeling PlayStation stuff will be pretty bad. They'll have Last of Us factions, Spider-Man 2, which will be okay, fine. What else? Will they show Wolverine? Will that be enough? What are they releasing next year other than that and Forspoken?
Right.
Tumbleweed.
Well, that's the. Oh, look, we got into God of War. I was just about to switch it over. I'll let God of War run for a minute here. Yeah, that is a situation. I mean, I don't want to keep saying, well, PlayStation doesn't have anything, but they have Wolverine. No, they don't. They have Spider-Man 2 is definitely coming in 23, I think. I'm going to put my word down because I've seen Insomniac say we're still on track for 2023. We haven't said otherwise. And they deliver. And so I think you've got Forspoken, Final Fantasy 16. What?
Atreus gameplay. Do you really want to show that?
Oh, no, I guess not. I mean, people know by now, don't they?
Not everyone. What was I going to say? What was the question?
No, that wasn't God of War. That was Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay. I wasn't listening.
What was I saying? Oh, you were damage controlling that PlayStation doesn't have anything. We're talking about the VGA's reveal. That maybe people are starting to figure that Xbox just isn't going to have something big at the show, and they always have. But I don't think the regulators are.
Jez said it was complete speculation. It wasn't based on anything he knew. If it was on something he knew, he would have said so because he always breaks stuff. Bigger things. Leaks a lot of things. Avowed, Pentiment, and a lot of things. So yeah, if he says that, I believe him. It's just, and he clarified it was all pure speculation. It would be nice to. When is this show? When is this?
December 8th, I think.
Oh wow. Guy, we're not talking about Callisto Protocol. That's going to be out in a few days.
Well, it kind of snuck up on us. Hargy has a good super here. He says Kojima could either have something with PlayStation or Xbox at the VGAs. He says either way, though, kind of a given. Meaning, kind of a given that Kojima is going to be at the Game Awards. And what if he steps on stage and he's ready to talk Xbox instead of, he's ready to talk about that cloud-based card game that he's making for Xbox.
I think he's going to talk about Death Stranding too. Not a cloud-based card game. Oh my god!
Can you imagine that? Like he's making Death Stranding 2 and some big massive IP for PlayStation for Xbox. He's making like a pixel bit phone mobile game. It's like a tower defense game.
It could happen. There's a genuine worry that Hideo Kojima's Xbox game is more experimental and therefore more prone to being substandard as a result of the risks associated. I'm
not a big Kojima fan. I was really enjoying Death Stranding up until the point of no return where most people get, 3 to 5 hours in. And I'm like, I've moved on. I'd like to go back to it, but just my whole life. I'm like, really, Kojima? What are you doing? I feel like you're pulling me around by my shirt tail or something. I don't know. It's weird. But he's really talented, and he wants to make movies. I'm kind of like, Kojima, go make a movie, because that's where he belongs. But Silent Chess. Lee Day says Silent Chess from Kojima. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. What about Avowed? Like, Avowed's well overdue. They showed it in 2020. They said they've been working on it for a while. I don't know.
I don't know. I would like to see Indiana Jones. I think that would be good.
That one's been in the works for a while. Yeah, it's a problem with the Xbox right now. Like we said it earlier in the show, for 5 years they really
Fable
haven't delivered. Huh?
I reckon Fable will be shown off. Really?
Doesn't seem like they're ready. I don't know. What?
I'm just making noises.
Are you hearing things?
No, I'm not. No one tells me anything
when
anymore.
I say the Xbox Game Studios hasn't delivered anything in 5 years, like they've made those PlayStation games. They've had their multi-plats. They've kind of been in flux. And now 2023 is when they're supposed to deliver. And so many people are like, when I make a really good point, guys, I always say, all those studios and no games. Yeah, but
they're right.
Mash says Evil West is 10 times better, or it's entertaining as Death Stranding. Yeah, I don't know anything,
chat. This is how easily. Who tells me anything anymore? No one. After the whole Fable thing, I don't know. Even if I knew stuff, which I don't, I wouldn't even tell you, because screw you. That's why. No, because it's just it's unfair on developers. I don't get told anything. I'm too busy making memes anyway. Screw you.
I just got a DM from somebody that works in retail regarding the Series X and PS5 sales, but I can't share what he's like. I don't want to share it publicly.
Who cares?
It's like, oh my gosh. But they're all I'll say, because it does, the person's protected, but the Series X and PS5 are sold differently. That's all I get from that. They're not, you don't just like throw them on, it's not the same. So the metric is completely different. Yeah. Justy Spud says, where's Contraband? I heard Contraband needed another year. Like, behind the scenes, they asked for another year. Project Dragon, really? Trivel Angelo says about Project Dragon. That is the third-person 4-player RPG, like fantasy RPG. So that's a cool game, and that's by IO Interactive, the team that makes Hitman. That could be big. Ooh. Will Perfect Dark be at the show, Nicholas Lendeth says.
Oh, yeah, right. That'd be nice.
I wish they were closer. I really wish they were closer.
Shoot.
We're going to talk more about you all right? We're going to talk more about the VGAs as we get closer. Right now, there just isn't enough to discuss. Gaz, thank you so much for being on the show tonight, and thank you to almost 1,000 people who showed up to XNC. It means a lot. We've had so much fun hanging out with all of you, and you make it so worthwhile. Gaz turns off his camera, and he's back.
My battery ran out. Sorry.
Oh, bro. I've got the Logitech Brio, so it's always on. It just doesn't look as sharp and sassy as yours. Gaz, you did that Evil West video. Did anybody change your mind that the game's fantastic?
No.
Did my footage look
got
fun?
Any views, but it's flip. This battery's running out as well.
You'll make it. We're on our way out.
Well, yeah. I think so. Look. Different strokes for different folks. It just annoyed me. The bugs that I encountered, maybe I was unlucky. I had 3 times I couldn't progress. 3 game-breaking bugs.
Yeah.
And then loads of times I got stuck. And poor Colteastwood party chat listening to me scream. So it wasn't for me, but a lot of people liked it. I'm genuinely, if you enjoyed it, that's great. These are my views. The whole point is I share my view. Like, if I'm really frustrated, a lot of people play games that get frustrated, games that I enjoy, but I like to hear how they feel. So yeah, different strokes, but Let's see. Back to God of War Ragnarok, a proper game. Yeah.
I'm so far behind, bro. Yeah, like God of War Ragnarok, almost done with Evil West, Plague's Tale Requiem, and there's like one other. Oh, and then Callisto Protocol, which we could talk about here, but I think everyone's pretty excited about playing it. It comes out in like 3 or 4 days. I'm so excited. There's too many games. It's going to be great. But yeah, thanks everybody for checking out the show. We'll get this thing processed up, and I'll put in timestamp. I've been taking more time to get those more accurate because people get really mad. But and shout out to Greaseball Gamer, who's been chatting here in Russian, I think, and my mod accidentally hit it because didn't know what it said. But I'll learn another language.
He said English Starfield beats Battlestar Galactica. I agree.
That sounds like Dwight Schrute. Battlestar Galactica. I was trying to see where you're from. Oh, located in the U.S.
Beats Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Starfield is better? Oh my gosh. I was actually watching little clips from 2001 Space Odyssey. Now, I don't expect anybody. I've never seen the movie because it came out way before I was born. But I can see what. Have you seen it, Gaz?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it. Would I like it?
It's weird. I know. Like it.
I've watched a bunch of different clips and read about the movie, but I could totally see where the team at Softworks got its. It hasn't.
You have to do drugs to enjoy it. Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. You mean like drink Mountain Dew? I know what I saw looks really cool. And I know the ending's really weird. I've seen parts of it, but anyway, I can see where they get this.
It hasn't aged well. Yeah.
I think that Starfield is going to make you feel like 2001 Space Odyssey and Interstellar kind of thing, which I think is going to be good. Huh?
More Interstellar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love
but they
that.
Also, but you know that they also had that like 60s era version of space exploration in the game. Yeah. They didn't like say what's it going to be like in the future, like how cool is they kind of anyway, that's kind of what they do with Fallout. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's what they do with Fallout. Yeah.
Oh, Greaseball says sorry about that. English is my first language. Well, I wish I could speak a second language. Gaz, you speak 3?
Yeah. That's
so cool. Oh, your battery's like going, nope. We're going to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. It's time to go. Thank you so much for hanging out on the show.
Smash the like button.
Yes, thank you so much.
My battery just died.
There, it's gone. We can still hear you. Thank you so much. Oh, you guys are the best. Thanks. We'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll get a video. Where's that outro?